Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? We'll be relaxing as per usual. What are we going to talk about today? I don't really know. I'm going to be playing a bit more Baldur's Gate today, which would be quite fun. Well, I mean, hopefully it'll be fun. It would be a shame if it was like, oh man, these first few hours of Baldur's Gate is really fun, and the next few hours are just terrible. It'd be quite a drop off, I would think. But no, I have fun aspirations. I mean, yes, fun aspirations, but also good aspirations, high aspirations. Anyway, hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, 6:02 p.m. on Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. This might be a day where I pick a random topic, to be perfectly honest. I'm actually quite tired today. We'll see how it goes because, you know, I'll be riding like my second wind of it. Well, not really second wind of energy. I'm not like that exhausted. I'm not like I didn't have any sleep last night. I just didn't have as much sleep. Probably restlessness because I was like, whoa, new Genshin region. Whoa, Baldur's Gate today as well. A fantastic day for gaming. What, 2 games? Okay, fair enough. You got me there. Yeah, what should we talk about today? I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. You might have noticed that the Railbound video didn't go up today. That's because I didn't finish the fun rail out yesterday. I genuinely don't remember how far I got. You know, that's probably part of the reason I was tired is because I was late up last night being like trying to finish it off. And then I got to a point where I was just like, okay, I've got all the base colours down. And it's like, now I need to shade it. And I'm like, I'm not going to finish this tonight and also sleep at a reasonable hour. So I was like, let's do the responsible thing. Let's do the sensible thing. Like, I will just finish it. Well, the thing is, I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish it, be able to finish it today, because I'm playing Baldur's Gate for most of the evening, so I will try to, but I don't think I have too much more. I mean, let's see, I can open up the video. Let's see how far I got. I'm pretty sure I got the base colors of almost everything down. I think the only thing left to do is shade it, so it's not too bad. Oh no, I haven't actually drawn a super far background, but super far background's fine because it'll be a painterly thing, probably. So it's not too bad. It's just like, you know, I've got work to do. My only concern is I might not have enough time today to finish off, but I think I probably will, you know. It'll probably be like, I haven't even spent that long on it. Like, I spent 1 hour on it yesterday. See, it's the sort of thing where I definitely should have been doing this on the weekend, but on the weekend, you know, you find, oh, I had something else to do, so it was like, oh, you know, when I initially planned to do something on that weekend, and it got pushed, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it on Monday. Then, you know, it was like I was really tired on Monday, so I didn't do it on Monday, and I was like, okay, it got pushed to Tuesday, which was yesterday, and I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't have all of it to do on Tuesday, because I had finished, like, the sketch, I think, and part of a liner. So I was just like, okay, well, now I've got to do it on Tuesday. And then Tuesday I was like kind of busy until, you know, like late at night. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it's kind of hard to continuously work at something for. I mean, I find it difficult to continuously work on a drawing. I feel like I can't like hyper focus on it. I normally work for about 20 minutes when I stop, and work for about 20 minutes and stop. I think part of the reason, certainly because I feel like my wrist is like starting to die, I think. I don't have carpal tunnel, I don't have RSI or anything like that, but I certainly am worried about it happening, enough so that I'm just like, I should not work long periods of time on something strenuous on wrist, aka drawing, and also I should be careful about using like my right hand for like literally everything, which is why nowadays I basically use my left hand as much as possible for things which don't require precision. So like I brush my teeth with my left hand, I use my mouse most of the time with my left hand unless I'm playing a game. Even right now, Animal Crossing, I'm playing one-handed on the Joy-Cons, using my left hand only, so that's just to show you how committed I suppose I am to becoming ambidextrous, which I'm not, mind you. I remember the first time I heard the word. I guess we're going to be talking about ambidextrousness. It was back in secondary school. I remember I learnt it from my year 7 maths teacher. He was a very cool maths teacher, by the way. Not spoken to him in years. I wonder how he's doing. I hope he's doing well. But yeah, so it was my at the time year 7 maths teacher, and he was talking about ambidexterity, where it was. I think he watched like a TV program about it or something the night before, and he was just like, oh yeah, there's just some people who are so ambidextrous they can just like. They can basically mirror their hands perfectly, and what he means by that is like if you start drawing something like with your right hand, you can simultaneously draw the exact same thing but mirrored with their left hand, which is pretty crazy, you know. And it looks exactly the same. Like ignoring the fact that the control, I suppose, the the coordination you would need with your weak hand to be able to draw something to look as flawless as your dominant hand is pretty crazy in the first place. But the fact that it would perfectly mirror it is even more crazy. Like that's just insane. It reminds me of this video I saw of, I can't remember the exact condition, but it was like a split brain condition where it was basically like a treatment for epilepsy, like back in the day or something, or like a very extreme treatment for epilepsy where basically your brain, which you know is in two halves, is severed in two, so the two halves can no longer communicate with each other. So effectively you're creating two sort of, I'm not sure if it's really creating two brains in your brain, but you're kind of creating two brains in your brain. There's a really cool video about it. I think CGP Grey covered it as well, and it's actually probably my favourite CGP Grey video, because I'm just like, that is crazy that it happens. But basically it's like your two halves of your brains now sort of have independent thoughts from each other, as in you can ask a question to a person and you will get two different responses from the two different sides of the brain, because if you didn't know, the one side of the brain would control, the left side of your brain controls the right half of your body, and then the right half of your brain controls the left half of your body. And also different halves of the brain have different, you know, control centers for your body. So things like I think your left side of your brain is responsible for speech, but the right side of your brain is responsible for recognition, or things like that. So you could ask like a person who has a split brain thing, like, what's your favorite color? And they might audibly say like green or something, but then, you know, their left hand, you know, the other side of the brain would pick up like, if it was like writing or something, would be like red or something, be like, whoa, you have like two different, you know, favorite colors or something like that. It's really fascinating. I'm trying to remember more about it. And also like how the speech side of your brain doesn't have the, I don't know, critical thinking part of the brain. I can't remember which part of the brain it is, but basically if you, it's the one which like finds patterns but doesn't remember things or something like that. So the example given to you was like, hey, you know, if you gave your speaking half of your body, I suppose, like a Rubik's Cube, no, wait, if your other half of your body was holding a Rubik's Cube and you gave it to the speaking half of your body and you asked the speaking half of your body, hey, why are you holding a Rubik's Cube? Instead of being like, oh, the other half of my body gave it to me, it would just be like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to solve one of these things, so I must have picked it up to try and solve it or something like that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, that's not the level of ambidexterity I'm talking about. And I forgot what I was talking about was the fact that in this video there was a moment where they flashed like two different images to do two sides of a brain, and then got the person to like simultaneously draw out the two different parts of a brain, two different things they saw. And in fact, you could simultaneously draw that way. Bear in mind, that guy wasn't ambidextrous, so one of the drawings was not great, frankly, and the other drawing was, you know, about average for a person who, you know, isn't a professional artist, which is fair. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, because there's a lot of skills, you know, need practice to get good, right? If you didn't, then I suppose what would be the point? Kind of. But yeah, I don't know, like, would I want that ability to be fully ambidextrous? I guess that would be cool. I will be honest, it probably wouldn't be something I'd use all that much. I feel like I'm past the days of needing ambidexterity, because the main thing I would think of that I would need ambidextrousness is for a large amount of writing. Like if I was writing an essay, I think the example that I remember a teacher talking about was like, oh, you know, it'd be great to be ambidextrous because then in exams, you know, when you're writing your exams, if you're like one of your arms gets tired, I suppose I'm writing so much, boom, just switch to the other hand and just continue writing. Which was not really the case for the subjects I ended up taking for A-level, but very much with GCSE, you know, English language, English literature, history, they're very much essay-based subjects where you kind of had to write a lot of things. So being able to just sort of, you know, double the stamina of your arms, probably could have been better ways to phrase that, but you know what I mean, right? Where it's like, oh, you know, if I ever get tired, I can just like sort of continue writing with my other hand. Would be fantastic, I suppose, in that regard. Nowadays, and I'm sure it doesn't matter as much, I must imagine nowadays most people end up typing their essays, and the essay subjects very much have more coursework and like long writing in exams, I think. But the only things I really remember from those days of doing those subjects is writing like an absolute like lunatic, I suppose, just in the exam, like setting fire to my paper. That's how fast my pen nib was on the page. Yeah, anyway, so being ambidextrous, I suppose, would be kind of cool. But again, I don't think it's something which is like particularly it feels like the sort of thing which is like useful in a that's neat sort of way, rather than a useful in a way that's that's really useful, you know. I don't know, I could be wrong, you know, don't hold me to that. I'm not ambidextrous, so I've not lived that life, but I suppose it is convenient to a certain degree, and very convenient. It would be very convenient for me, because I talked about this before, you know, like I worry about RSAing carpal tunnel because how many of my hobbies rely on like my hands, you know, which is probably why, if anything, I should be more worried, because I'm more likely to attain is not the right word, but develop it, that's the word. Because of course I use a computer quite a lot, you know, that uses your, you know, hand. I game quite a lot, that uses my hand. I draw quite a lot, that uses my hand. Or to be fair, I haven't drawn all that much recently, but still, I used to play the piano quite a lot. I haven't as much recently, but you know, it's just everything. My hands. That's why you've got to keep good care of them. I don't really know how I was going with this, but ambidexterity. It would be cool if I was ambidextrous. I know some people who like try to train themselves to be ambidextrous, right, by like just practicing writing with their other hand, which is fair enough. I very much respect that. I don't know if I would have a patience for that, especially nowadays. I don't really write things all that much anymore. I remember, actually, I'm not sure if I told this story before, but I was actually meant to be sent to a handwriting class, I think, back in secondary school. I remember my teacher telling me, being like, "Oh, hey, Dylan, you are like," she was like my form tutor for like year 8 or something. No, she was my English teacher for year 7, and then she was like my form tutor for, you know, many years after that. But it was the sort of thing where it's like, hey, you know, I forgot what I was going to say. Hey there, darling, did you know that in year 7 you were meant to actually go to handwriting class because of your bad handwriting? I was like, whoa, okay, really? And then I was like, do I still need to go? And she was like, no, your handwriting just like ended up just improving, you know, over time, so you don't need to anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, cool, fair enough. It sticks in my mind, because I was like, my handwriting's not amazing, I would say. It's not like super neat, and I don't think anyone would look at it and be like, wow, what tidy handwriting. They'd probably look at it and be like, this is very average handwriting, probably too messy to be writing in cursive, I think. But I don't know, you know, I mean, do I have like a sample of my own handwriting somewhere, of which I can look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's what I write like. I don't really think I have a handwriting sample nearby. I was thinking, like, when I get my like university notes, and I'm like, I shouldn't judge based on my university notes. My university notes are so messy, because I was just trying to write as much information down as possible. But to be fair, I had both refined notes and messy notes. You know, I had like refined notes to I lost my train of thought. To be my neat notes, which I actually studied from, and the rough notes being the ones I just did during the lecture time, to be like, get all this information down ASAP. Also, it's been a while since I think we hit the money rock. Not that we particularly need the bells, but still. Yeah, ambidexterity. I don't know, what would be the most useful thing to be ambidextrous for? Like, I can only think of like writing, if you're writing a lot. But that, again, that feels kind of niche. I don't know if it necessarily is all that niche, but it just sort of inherently feels quite niche. Like, angelfish, flea. Okay, those are both difficult ones to manifest. But I do want to quickly run up here, because Amelia's probably out here just wandering about or something, and trying to talk to a villager. Oh, she's not. Okay. Just so I can... Oh, I can sell my fruit, I suppose, at the end of the episode, right? It's just but in case I get the Nook Mile mission for selling items, in which case I would very much like to combine the selling fruit and selling object missions together. You might be like, that's a bit min-maxy of you, but you know, you got to make these Nook Mile missions, Nook Mile points count, lest you slowly run out of them over time. It used to be crazy to think that I had like over 100,000 at one point. And now I've got like nothing, probably because of... I don't know where I lost him or to. I assume Nook Mile island hunting, but I'm not really sure. I feel like I didn't do that. Maybe I did do that quite a lot now I think about it. Especially looking for fauna when it was impossible. Not impossible, sorry. Especially looking for... I don't even remember. There's someone I spent a very long time looking for. Who was it? It was whoever joined before fauna. Who was like second last or something, right? I genuinely can't remember. Can I even remember the order that my current villagers joined the island? I think out of the current villagers, was it Audie was first, then Vivian, then Lily, then Rowan? I actually genuinely don't remember anymore. That's actually crazy. Hold on, I need to like look at a villager list. Who's in my island? What order did they join? I think it was Audie, Vivian, and Lily were all very early on, is what I remember. Actually, are they just in order like this? Or, because I was going to say, I swear it was like Audie, Vivian, Lily, Raymond. I would have thought it would be Rowan, Raymond rather than Amelia, but Biscuit, Apollo, Phoebe, Fauna? That might just be resident join order. That's actually crazy. I never noticed that if that's true. I don't even know if it is true, but sorry, ambidextrousness. I bet a lot of sports would probably be pretty good if you're ambidextrous. I wonder which sport would give you the best advantage. I was thinking like tennis, because then you could. I don't know if it's legal in tennis for you to switch your forehand. I suppose in the middle. I guess you could. But tennis means that you would have a strong forehand. You would never have a backhand. It would always be forehands for you, right? I don't know. I also wonder what the threshold for ambidexterity is. It's probably loose and ambiguous, but still, I'm curious. Ambidextrous. Ambidexterity. Only about 1% of people are naturally ambidextrous. I never really thought about the fact you could be naturally ambidextrous. And now I think about it, the definition of ambidexterity requires them to be used equally well. So it doesn't mean that they have to be used well, just equally well, right? So if you could not use either of your hands, would you be ambidextrous? I guess by definition, yes. I never really thought about that. In modern times, it's common to find some people considered ambidextrous who are originally left-handed and who learn to be ambidextrous either deliberately or as a result of training for schools and jobs. You know, that is very fair. I was actually talking to someone about this quite recently. But there wasn't much else to that sentence, I suppose. It's because I actually, you know, as I said, I use my mouse with my left hand quite a lot. And she was using her mouse with her right hand. And she was like, oh, you know, I didn't know you were also left-handed. I was like, oh, I'm not. I'm right-handed, but I just use a mouse with a left hand most of the time. And she was like, whoa, that's crazy, because I'm left-handed and I use a mouse with a right hand most of the time. I was like, whoa, what on earth happened here? Yeah, many everyday devices such as can openers and scissors are asymmetrically and designed for right-handed people. Very true. Many left-handers learn to use them right-handedly due to a variety of lack of left-handed models. It's something you don't think about all that often. I do remember back in school we used to have these left-handed scissors. Because if you were right-handed, you got like the cool scissors. You got like colours of like all sorts. You know, you can use any colour that you want for scissors. But then for the left-handed ones, you had to use the yellow-green ones, just because of the way the blades, I guess, folded over themselves. Was the other way around. I don't know. Anyway, being ambidextrous, I guess it'd be kind of cool, but I don't know. It's not something I can do. Sports, a baseball. Oh yes, because you can hit on either side of the batter's mound, right? And pitch on either side, pitch either way. That makes sense. I never really thought about that. Figure skating? What? Fair enough. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here because, you know, I've kind of run this conversation dry. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.